back to work. Sounds like yesterday's vlog, doesn't it? Today has been a total whirlwind. Every day's kind of a new record for craziness. End of the day here, working on this, trying to figure out my rattle. I did pick up some double-sided tape today and attached whatever we're gonna call this repair. Seems to be sticking very well. So that's gonna silent that down. If it moves this way, it's still gonna hit, but there's nothing there from factory. And the hole in the door panel holds this thing captive for the most part. Went for a test drive, no different whatsoever. That did not make a difference. And during the test drive, it was just louder and very obviously right here, something in this area. I had the whole latch out yesterday, so I'm thinking, okay, the latch is bad. There's something internal to the latch that's just let go and it's loose. Or what else can it be? What else holds the latch to the car? Yeah, it's fucking that. What are the odds that it's this dumb little latch right here? So this is the donor I just put in. It was from the lowest mileage car we had. And where the latch strikes the post here is the least worn. There's a little bit of wear on that. But my old one, what did I just do with it? It was significantly more worn and had a little groove in it. And that little groove, little channel right there, seemingly is responsible. That's all it takes, is for that little amount to wear off. We're talking, you know, fractions of a millimeter, really microns there. Yeah, I know there's a chip here. I don't think that's related. I guess it could be, but I don't think it is. So 228,575 miles of faithful service. And it joins the parts or repair units in the box from the cars we dismantled. I put that on, went for a test drive. I had to take off the lower B-pillar. So you take this strip thing off, then the lower B-pillar, then there's a little cubby access door that pops out, and that lets you access the back of this, because these two Torx 40s thread into this brass, or galvanized rather, bracket on the other side. And when you take both of those out, this is now super loose and floppy, and it's falling around inside the door. This one's actually on upside down because we can't get the connector in there. This one, my old one, is right. So the electrical connector sits through like that, and the wire that goes to that electrical connector, which is for that switch to tell the car when it's locked or not, or when the door's closed or not. But that wire holds the bracket from falling down into the B-pillar. But in order to get the screws or the bolts to thread, you do have to remove the lower B-pillar and access cover and then hold the thing in place and get them started. Then there's actually a procedure for aligning the striker plate. And you pretty much line them up. See these little ticks in the chassis? Anybody ever notice that? Pretty much all cars have this. A little tick, a little notch there, and it matches up with the one here. So line them up for the most part, and then just snug these down so you can still grab this and move it by hand if you really try to. Then take your door, hold the handle open, and do this a whole bunch of times. That's gonna get it centered, so we don't wanna stress the latch here or put unnecessary wear on either the top or bottom edge here. So do that a whole bunch of times, then go in there and snug it down with a Torx 40. They don't list a Torx spec in new TIS, but guten tight without worrying about stripping anything. So, hey, I think that's finally gonna fix my problem. I am now going to take an air conditioning break, take the door apart again, handle, speaker, airbag off. I've just put the window switch panel in there so it doesn't rattle around or get scratched or scratch the paint. I left it hanging out the window last night. Then we reseal the vapor barrier, then we put the door panel back on, then we get the hell out of here because it's already 7 p.m. on a Friday. Back together. My back hurts. It's about 9 o'clock. Gotta clean some butyl tape off the seat. I don't know how that happened. Lights are on because we're doing a little code scan here in ISTA, see if anything comes up. Looks like we got 4 items. Tank sensor 2, it throws those all the time for some reason. General module interior lights, that's because everything's been unplugged. Board monitor fault, that's all bullshit, so nothing to worry about. We're gonna clear that out. Haven't taken a test drive yet. I'm gonna be pissed as shit if I get new rattles or anything new now. Yesterday, I think I mentioned I replaced this vent. Either me the first time I took it apart, which I don't think it was me, so maybe somebody in the past. No one knows that there's Phillips head screws in there. It's just hidden in there. You kind of have to close the duct like that to get a screwdriver in it. So that was all cracked up, and I've had this on and off now twice in the past few weeks, and that caused the plastic to kind of pull out. I mean, I could have glued it, but that thing's still available, so I bought one and changed that, and boy, is this nice. that tactile feedback is really smooth. As they age, they get kind of loose. Even some of the center console vents right up here, you'll set it and then the fan speed kicks up and it blows it down or in some other position. Mine doesn't do that, but I've seen it in 5 Series. Nice fresh speaker grill. The tactile feedback here is awesome. Just little nerd things like that. Plastic's all matte. So door back together, vapor barrier was smooth. One thing I'm learning that I've been doing wrong in the past, on the driver's door, it's 2 wires, but the rest of the doors, rest of the front doors, the wiring harness for the light down here, that is supposed to route behind the speaker. There's a little channel in the speaker for that. And on the driver's door, the button for the memory seat switch as well. So I'm doing that correctly now. Not that it makes much of a difference, but there's a right and a wrong way to do things. We got to cycle the key. I got to move like 6 cars around. Then I got to figure out what's going to be for dinner. I just did In-N-Out last night. That's kind of the only place open. Might see if I can find a pizza. The problem with San Diego is everything shuts down at 9 o'clock. Even in the city, maybe you get to 10 o'clock. Some of the bars and clubs will be open till midnight, but that's about it, and I'm not going downtown. Okay, we're approaching a turn that would always rattle because it's a nice little dip. One of those California drainage, what do you call them, little drainage things right there where the cement is in this intersection at the crosswalk. Stereo's paused. Let's see. That's what I've wanted forever. The leather split folds are always gonna make a little bit of a rattle. But it's gone! It's gone! The fucking rattle's gone! Yes! And it was an easy thing that I already had. And it took 10 minutes to replace. Maybe 15 because the B-pillar had to come off. But my God, I spent hours looking inside the door. The problem itself was with the latch that holds the door to the car. So I've heard that on 1 or 2 other customer cars. And now I know what it is. It's Friday night. I'm eating pizza. I'm going to bed. We'll talk tomorrow, Saturday.